With copper and that steampunk look still trending at the moment, what better way than to introduce it into your garden and create that awesome ambience with a citronella oil lamp burning in the garden to ward off the mosquitoes. The materials we're going to need: we've got some copper piping, we've got some copper fittings, we've got a pipe cutter, tape measure, pencil, plumber's torch, some flux, some solder, a hacksaw, some tools, a knife, some sash cord, and most importantly, some citronella oil. Not to forget, we've got a cordless drill to help drill our holes. Where we're going to start first is we're going to measure out a 200mm length on our 22mm copper tubing. This is what we're going to create our chamber to hold our citronella oil. We're then going to use some other fittings on the top and at the bottom to seal it off and to make sure it doesn't leak. Take our tape measure, measure down, make a mark. Now you can use a hacksaw to cut this off, but we're going to use a pipe cutter. It's much easier, creates a much nicer, neater cut, and it's a lot less hard work. Slide it in and then just adjust the handle. It gets into place. Tighten it slightly and then turn it around. As we turn it around, just tighten a little bit. A quarter turn is more than enough. Send it around again and off it pops. That is going to be our chamber. So we're basically now seal it off at the bottom, and then we're going to have a cap for the top. So let's start off with the bottom. What I'm going to do is having a reducer, because then it's going to reduce down to a smaller stem, and that's what's going to stick into the garden. We need to seal off our reducer, so I'm going to use an end cap sitting on the inside to seal it off, and I'm going to seal it up with the plumbing torch. Put that down our cat. A little bit of flux on there, that's more than enough. Hold that into place. I'm going to put that down. When using a plumber's torch on copper and you're going to soldering, you've got to heat up the copper, and then the solder touches the copper and that melts. Dip my solder into the flux, and I'm going to heat up the copper. So you can see that. No heat, and yet it's actually melting away. Okay, there we go. That's done. Right, we're going to do exactly the same thing now with the chamber. We're going to slide that over the top, and we're just going to seal it first of all with a little bit of flux. Okay. And it goes. Okay, again we're heating up the copper, and then we're going to apply the solder. You'll see as you touch the solder onto the hot copper, you'll see the capillary action automatically pulls it all the way around and seals all the gaps. Let that solder set, let that cool down, and then we can work on the next part. Now that that's cool, you can actually see that that's our chamber, and it's all sealed on the bottom side. We're going to fill it up, but obviously we want to have a stem, so we're going to use a long piece here, and we're going to place that on top, put some flux in between, and weld it exactly the same. All the hard work is done. We're going to work on our top piece now. Here's our end cap, which we're going to drill a 5.5mm hole into the top of it, and then we're going to feed our filament wick all the way through. So a little trick is to make use of a screw, just a standard screw or a nail and a hammer. We're going to bring that down onto the copper, line it up into position, and then give it a good hard knock, and that's going to create our center punch. Okay. Right, now I'm going to use the drill to drill this. Obviously, as it bites, it's going to start slipping. I'm not going to be able to hold it in my fingers. Make use of a pair of pliers. Get that in there, get a nice firm grip. Bring your drill down. Make sure you're keeping your drill vertical. You don't want to be drilling sideways or diagonally or at an angle. Nice, good grip, and let's get going. There we go. That's our top. We've got our base piece here. That's going to go on the end there like so. And our wick is going to go all the way through. So we need to cut ourselves off a piece of this wick, bend it over. Make sure you're cutting it away from you. You don't want to stab yourself with a knife. Perfect. It's quite a tight fit. It's going to go straight in there like so. Just screw it over and we're going to push it all the way. Pull it through. There we go. We're just going to fluff this end out a little bit. That's going to go in like so. Okay, that doesn't look so great with all the burn marks from the torch. You're now going to bring out the elbow grease and shine it with some Brasso to get rid of that. But a handy trick is to actually make use of some steel wool. I've got some here. You can really see the difference. Just give it a good rub. You can see it coming back to life again. We're nearly good to go. We're going to stab that into the garden. And then we're going to fill it up with some citronella oil and start burning it, keep those mochis and the hohos and the mosquitoes away. If you enjoy staying up to date with all the latest trends and DIY projects, make sure you visit the Builders website page and their Facebook page for all the details on upcoming events and their workshops.